Okay, now this is curious. I'm in the Lost and Found. I had another idea that involves the ballroom, which hopefully we'll get to. But there's something new here, and it's something I've never seen before. Investor needed. What am I looking at here? It looks kind of like an electrical circuit diagram. It also looks a little bit like the Spiral of the Stars. It also looks a little bit like sigil kind of stuff. Investor needed. And where did this come from? I would guess... Definitely seems like it's a diagram for a new gadget. And it could be the one where we get the lockpick plus the metal detector to make like the extra sensitive metal detector. Kind of reminds me of that a little bit. But what do I make of that? And do these things like start going together at all? This was the sigil of Vera, the heat continent with the turtles. That's a picture of Mary that was originally in the office. That's a plane that was originally in the attic. That's the statue that was originally in the maid's place. This I've never seen before. Do I have I seen every room other than the closed exhibit, which I presume it's possible to draft? I thought I'd gotten all these filled out now. Because we have all the additions now. Found floor plans? Like, it's possible that there's more found floor plans. And then the outer rooms. Yeah, I don't know if there could be more of these. The Mount Holly Directory. There's a trophy for finishing the directory. And I don't have that trophy. So... It's possible this comes from a room that I have not yet become aware of or drafted, I suppose. Alright, very interesting. A safe deposit box key. Holy crap, I haven't seen one of these in so long. Okay, now I need to find the vault. And I don't have that many rooms left to draft. Well, the Mechanarium just paid off in spades. I got a lot of good stuff. From here... I guess this is a good spot to use the silver key. And every time oh, now I don't want to draft that. Oh, irony. I'm gonna have to re-roll. I could do the dark room, but then I won't be able to see. And I don't have the utility closet yet. Yeah, I have a experiment running that every time I draw a shop room, it sets my dice to 2, and now I really need the dice to be 6. Great Hall, that'll work. Okay. So, let's just use a normal key here. And there's the vault. Okay. We finally accomplished something. All this money will just fly up into my inventory because I have the electromagnet. And more importantly, I have a vault key. Which vault key? Number 370. 370. Goes right here. Use it. Alright, there's money. There's gems, and there's a sanctum key, and a note. Uncle, thank you again for all your help. I know I could never hope to repay you, but it pains me to know that I won't even have the chance to try. At any rate, I'm leaving these extra funds behind, as well as the extra passports. It'd be too risky if we were searched at the border, and the money would raise too many suspicions. I think we all want a clean start anyway. I know I do. Mary. Okay, I got a sanctum key out of the vault. Thank goodness. Okay. There could easily be more vault keys, but it's no longer something pressing, and now I have 7 of the sanctum keys, and I have plenty of steps. So I'll be able to go to the sanctum today. And I think I did also just close off the house. No, there's a couple more things I could draft. Coat check is not behind lost and found, so that works in my favor as well. Should I draft the last couple of rooms? Yeah, because if I found the ballroom, there are things I want to try there. And I'll just walk around since I have plenty of steps, rather than try to go through the Great Hall and deal with the maze of things that's happening there. And the ballroom, I think, is just a blue room, and so I'll draft this. And in order to get the ballroom, this is the only spot left that I could draft it, and so I guess we'll redraw a few times and see if we get lucky and get it. Ballroom. Great. So, here's the deal. The music sheets. Do I know what time it is? I'm not sure, but let's read the music sheets again. Under these stars the dance is held, and to the floor we are compelled. The gowns glide and music swells, and at the end the clock strikes 12. What that means only time can tell. To remain like one last dance and spin again around clock hands, and as they turn a second chance to rise above the falling sands. So the falling sands were mentioned in an Alzara prophecy. And the ballroom picture here was featured in the book A New Clue. I think Mary is telling me to come here, and I think the music sheets that I'd previously discarded because I'd already gotten a clue out of them are giving me a clue to be here at 12 o'clock precisely. Is the piano a player piano? No, the keys just cast weird shadows. Okay, I don't know what time it is in here, right? Because I don't have a clock-a-majigger. So where's the nearest clock? That's a great question. There's got to be one in some room nearby. Clocks. Nobody has clocks. No clocks in the Secret Garden. Conference Center surely would have one. I don't see one. Dining room, I know, has a clock. Dining room, I know, has a clock, he says, looking desperately for the clock that doesn't exist. Here it is. Oh, crap, and it's 12 o'clock now. Which way am I going? Wrong way. Crap. I just missed my chance, didn't I? I'm all turned around. This is so frustrating. Where's the lab? That's a boiler room. I can't go to the lab from here. I have to go back to the conference room. Alright, did I miss my moment? Yes. The clock struck 12 just a few minutes ago. Okay, I have a sanctum key. We can do the ballroom thing another day. Let's get sanctimonious. And go open another door and possibly brute force some things. I have a shovel now. Turnip. Delicious. I don't think I need to dig anything up at this point, but yeah, I could dig up another safe deposit box key. Who knows? Alright. What do I still have to open? Either Arch Ares or Araja. Which one do I think I know better? Neither. I'm going to try Araja. So let's use it on this door. Okay, I know the moats. Araja is poetic. Poetic is symbolized by a little flower. So that's a box. That's the flower, I believe. Actually, is that the flower? No, that's the spiritual pizza. So that's the flower. Okay. Weather, I don't know, so we'll start with quote-unquote normal weather. Transport, I have no idea, but it would probably be either carriage or train. So that would be carriage. And the color is violet, which is alternating horizontal and vertical lines. So, is this it? Nope. Alright, I didn't manage to figure out Araja, but on the Vera postcard, the weather here is much more severe than it was on Morajai. So that implies that the weather on Morajai was calm, and I might be able to use that because I already have that door open. So let's go back to Morajai and see if I can use that to my advantage. Well, rats, I can't seem to get the Orajai one either. Well, it occurs to me while I'm down here, I have the trading post. I wonder if I can get the crown. I don't have any doors that get me there, though, do I? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh, I like my electromagnet, but I can trade it for a gear wrench, and that lets me try something out. So I think I'm going to do that, assuming that nothing else trades for the gear wrench. Yeah, it's a pain in the neck to get the electromagnet, but having a gear wrench right now is pretty great. Because I do have access to the den, and I wanted to try stuff in there. So my idea is this has a bunch of gears on it, and so can I interact with it with a gear wrench? Sadly, it seems like the answer is no. While I have the gear wrench, this is one of the most suspicious rooms. Is there anything that I can interact with? Can I use a wrench to somehow open this? Can I use a wrench to fix this clock, whose thingy isn't going? As long as I have the gear wrench with me. Geist bedroom. This is suspicious. It's got like 8 things around the edges. But I don't see any kind of interaction prompts that I can do. Anything else that I could use the wrench on in here? These little dog toys, or whatever they are, reminded me, I've seen them in 2 or 3 places, but it reminds me that in the kennel, where there's the little cat no card, Alzara had a thing about a cat being tied to a red flag. I wanted to do some more experimenting in the kennel next time I draw that. Okay, but here's coat check. And so I guess I'll check in my gear wrench, since it's a pretty valuable item, and then call it a day in a break room. I wasn't able to brute force any of the other Sanctum sigils. A perplexing shopping center. I'd never looked carefully at the cursed coffers. This has like a spirally thing on it, and maybe like an infinite 8 kind of thing on it, and maybe like a person with their arms outstretched. I'm curious to try this out. I have the blessing of the berry picker, which means rather than choose one of these rooms, I can pick a wild berry, and I think it gets randomly chosen, so let's see how this works. I got the servant spare bedroom, or whatever it's called, or servant's quarters? Servant's quarters. Alright, and I picked a berry. Blessing of the berry picker. Disregarding rarity. So I guess it can help you draft some rare dead-end rooms, maybe? Oh, the kennel. Here's a thing I wanted to review. So, I see a black cat leashed to a red flag. I hear the wind blowing, but the flag doesn't move. Is there anything to interact with? Like, there is a red lead here, but I can't interact with that. Is there anything suggestive of a red flag? The other thing I was thinking of in terms of that Alzara fortune-telling kind of thing is that a water bowl is not a flag. Is that in the dormitory there's the Koryaka University flags that are banners. I don't know if the wind is blowing in there, but the banners wouldn't move. But I was also just thinking, like, cat is just weird. Like, this cat, I don't know why it exists other than that Alzara fortune-telling kind of thing. I don't know how to imagine that, like, a cat is our mother who is tied to the red flag. Kind of like metaphorically or whatever. Like, I don't know why she would be a cat. Hey, here's the ballroom. Okay, that will set my gems to 2 if I walk in there. What time is it? It's still pretty early because I haven't drafted that much. We'll find another room with a clock shortly. Does the break room have a clock? I don't remember off the top of my head. It does. And it's just coming up on 10, so 2 hours. That means like another 15 minutes of game time or something before we have to go into the ballroom to test my theory. And I guess since I have you with me, let's do some of this. 1 plus 4 is 5, times 4 is 20, minus 5 is 15. Half of 5 times 10 is 25. Switch the order is 52. Times 10 is 520. No, divided by, hold on. Half of 5 is 2.5. How is this going to work? Oh, it's not divided by 10, it's divided by half of 10. So divided by... 2.5 divided by 10 gives me... Sorry, divided by 5 gives me 0.5. If I flip the digits... Do I get 5.0? And if so, then divided by 5 gives me 1. If I flip the digits, I get 10, and then divided by 5 is 2. That was it. Alright, did you follow all that? Nope, me neither. What am I doing in this run? That's a great question. I'm picking up lunchbox. That's what I'm doing, because my steps are actually not doing so hot. Enjoy a lunch. I shall. Salt shaker helps. Yeah, let's try to get rank gate, I suppose. Alright, well, I've been curious about it. What happens if I get the drafting studio now? Potential new floor plans. It's just empty. So I have drafted them all. It's confirmed. It's February 20 in game, by the way. Does this object tell me anything? I don't think so, but it's interesting looking. There's a black pawn in here. Did I know that? I did know about that. Case bedroom could be some rerolls. That sounds pretty good to me. Hello, Draxus. Nice to see you as always. Now that I know to look for you. While I'm waiting for 12 o'clock, a crackpot theory that I had. Denny Revane said she loves me not in his own professional notebook. I was thinking, who might he be in love with? And I was thinking possibly Mrs. Babbage. And then it would be like perfect plot twist if like she's the one who like framed him and she actually stole the letters. So that's a random thought that I had. But in any case, 12 o'clock, the clock will strike 12 in 25 minutes, which will be about 3 minutes of real time. So let's head over into the ballroom. So I'm going to be here for when the clock strikes 12 to see if anything happens. What can I imagine happening? The piano might open up. Obviously there's the music that we've already looked at. The piano keys might become keys or something. Like open door keys. The Alzara thing, however, said that there was a black mirror hidden under falling sands. And this is the place, yeah, to rise above the falling sands, the two time lost in past romance. So rise above the falling sands. We can look down and see the ceiling because it's a mirrored floor. There's a couple of benches. There's the wine glasses. There's Clara and Simon from the In Eclipse Ball, 1952. There's the music stand imager here, which has an interesting hexagonal base. But I guess there aren't any clocks in here, so I won't really know when the clock strikes 12. But it should be coming up very shortly. And I feel like in the book A New Clue, like I'm hoping to find another microchip. In the book A New Clue, the ballroom photo that's over there was pictured. And so it feels like this room is important. The Alzara thing with the falling sands. You'll find a black mirror. Like, here's a mirror. I found a mirror. It's on the floor. But what does it get me? And also I'm in here and nothing seems to be happening. And I'm pretty sure 12 o'clock has passed. So the clock struck 12. I'd not noticed the pattern on the floor. Look at this. It's not just like a zigzag. Like there's a like hole in the zigzag and an overlap over here. Is that just here, or does it repeat? There's an overlappy thingy here. Yeah, like the pattern is... It's non-trivial. And I think it actually might be important. Mirrored floor. So, like, there's a gap between the two kind of arrow kind of thingies coming together here. And then there's like a gap over here. So yeah, it's not a perfect tiling marks. And like this one, they kind of like overlap and there's like a dot where they overlap. And then this one, they kind of overlap in a little zigzag. Under the stars, the dance is held. The clock strikes 12. I feel like it's currently noon, and I might have to wait for midnight. That's just occurred to me. I don't think I've ever checked out the fixed stars. It lives in the observatory, but maybe somehow this is a different edition, or there's like a piece of paper inside of it or something, so I should definitely check it out and take a look at it at some point. I'm in Lady Clara's bedroom. Her ladyship... No, I'm in the boudoir, which I think still has the same theme of purple from a Raja. And it occurs to me the symbol on this pillow is the moat that means poetic, that's from Raja, I believe. Had not noticed that before. There's a lot of intricate carpets that I really haven't noticed either. Looking at the floor of the ballroom made me realize that I should look at some other floors. I had never really looked at the basketballs. Hoople Sports is apparently the brand. This container in the kitchen is also kind of hourglass shaped, kind of in the theme of a Raja, I suppose. And I'm turning on the faucet, because why not? In the chapel, this person is one of the statues in the basement. The other one is kind of dressed like this guy, but rather than carrying these things, he's like pointing. Don't know that any of that is important, but I'm trying to kill time. Oh, I had been meaning to screenshot a periodic table of the elements to help me on the final exam whenever I retake that. So, hey Brian, take a screenshot of this. So you might be thinking to yourself, so Brian, it's almost 5 a.m. Why are you still playing this game? And the answer is, I really want to test my theory, because I don't have many left. So in any case, in 20 in-game minutes, it will be midnight. That'll be like 3 minutes of real time. And the ballroom is just a few steps away around the corner. So let's go make the journey together. And I can see when 3 minutes from now would be. And so we'll walk through the commissary. And we'll walk over here. I'm going to lose some gems, but that's fine. I don't see stars. I haven't really... I think I have seen stars in the sky before. But maybe not... Well... Yeah, it's weird, because it just looks like a blue sky down here, but it does look like kind of like a purplish sky up there. And after this, if this doesn't work, I'll at least walk outside. Did I finish drafting everything and everything? Yeah, this is like the last thing I need to do today. But yeah, if something does happen at midnight in this room, I think it will happen shortly. And let's see, with the clock tower, when there was a special time, something just like opened. Like, I don't have high hopes about this, but I at least have hopes. Ah, when the clock struck 12, something, something, something. So let's see. After this, we have 7 sanctum keys, and the other thing I need to figure out is the king's throne. And I already played around some with the lavatory. It didn't have success there. I guess the king's throne could be a chair in the master bedroom. Or in room 46. Possibly. We already got a sanctum key out of room 46 though, so that seems pretty unlikely. And yeah, so I'll have to keep chewing on that to see if I come up with any other good ideas there. In the music room, speaking of music, there's also a little treble clef symbol on a note card that says denoted in verse. Denoted in verse could simply mean take the meaning off of the, the verses on the music sheets, which is kind of what we're doing again right now. But you could also, if we're playing silly games, have it be like denoted inverse. But I'm not sure, like, if you flip the word, you get detoned, which isn't really a word. Nothing has happened, by the way, and I'm pretty sure that it's already past midnight now. Or something that's not denoted in verse. But yes, no black mirror has appeared. And yeah, I guess it hadn't really occurred to me before. Like, there's mirrors in other rooms, but they're just kind of like grayed out, so you don't actually see a reflection. Here we actually see a reflection, and I never see my feet when looking down, so I don't really have a player model. But yeah, we're truly a vampire in here, since I can look down and I don't see any part of my body. So I guess I didn't try, like, interacting with all the different piano keys. That does not seem to be a thing. So at least I tried my idea. Let's go step outside and see if it's dark out, because I'm curious about that. And then I guess I'll call it a day in the break room, as per usual, after that. But if we step outside, you do see stars. Are the stars meaningful? Does feel almost like they're kind of like in a spiral or something. Well, I feel like I get a little bit of a different star look as I like tilt my head at different angles too. But there are definitely stars in this world. And it's kind of like a pretty painting. So this is what nighttime in the game is looking like. And do the stars move? I'm going to leave my mouse cursor there. I think they do not. And that's just me being tired. And let's see. This way is north. This way is south. I don't know that I see anything particularly noteworthy in any cardinal direction. Okay, do I have a break room today? I do have a break room, so we're going to go park ourselves in it so that we at least have a key card to start things off on the next day. But I'm really getting to where I'm scraping the barrel in terms of other ideas I have. So yeah, wish me luck. I'm going to say that I hope as always that you all are having a great day, and I will see you again with more blueprints where hopefully I figure something out. Until then, have a great day, everybody, and enjoy looking at my perplexing menagerie. Menagerie because we had the kennel and the dovecote in the aquarium, all animal rooms. Makes sense. Good night.